Let's face it, there are tons of projects made for millions of people every year, some of which only end up as failed and abandoned megaprojects. Some projects cost up fortunes, but the end result gets more disappointing than ever. Did you know it's more or less the best tourist destination now? Dubai was a mere desert just a few decades back. As hard to believe as it sounds, it's actually true. But this is for a fact, too, that not all megaprojects go right. It's the craze of architectural development together with some pretty lucrative projects that drive people to start up new megaprojects. Little do they know what they're investing their all in will just be a useless piece of land when it's finally accomplished. So, hello folks, and welcome to the YouTube channel. If you are thinking about investing into a mega project in the near future, this video might make you want to think twice before doing so. Keep watching till the end as we navigate your way through the top 7 most useless mega projects in the world. Number 7. Interstate A3, Hawaii. Let's begin with Interstate A3 in Aloha State, Hawaii, that's made to pass through perhaps the most beautiful highway in the world. The fact that it's super stunning makes it hard to believe something as breathtaking and as long as 26 kilometers could fail. In fact, while the making of this mega project, there were concerns regarding the traffic that would stop to adore it. But as it turned out, all the thoughts were nothing but a trance. The idea of this began back in 1960, keeping in mind all the security considerations, where the roadway was to connect Pearl Harbor Naval Base to the Marine Corps Air Station. One huge reason why people don't use the H3 is because they believe quite a lot of religious sites were brought down during the construction of this $1.3 billion mega project. Not just that, the natives and many environmental groups were worried about the huge industrialization that was to kickstart here. So just as you would expect, the H3 highway vanished in no time. Number 6. Ciudad Real Central Airport, Spain. Next up is yet another mega project worth many billion euros that's abandoned now. It's situated in Spain, which makes it a tough nut to crack why the huge project would fail. When the idea of Ciudad Real Airport was originally suggested, its goal was to offer an alternative to Madrid's main airport, primarily because it was overcrowded all year round. The new airport was made to accommodate 2 million people annually and has one of the top 5 longest runways in the entire Europe. God admit that was one great approach. Who knew it would fail so miserably? Well, before your curiosity gets the better of you, it all came to a halt in 2012 when the company operating the mega project filed for bankruptcy. And the main problem was hands down the location of it, which is 200 kilometers away from Madrid. That meant hours of traveling to finally step in here. On top of that, there were no major airlines in operation to begin with. Number 5. Naypyidaw, Myanmar. Coming up, we have this is the new capital in Myanmar that was built from scratch. It started back in 2002 when they thought shifting the capital of the country would be a lucrative idea. That's when Myanmar's former military officers began secretly constructing it, not realizing it would fail so miserably. With a 20-lane motorway, more than 100 hotels with golf courses, museums, and even a 99-meter-tall replica of a Yangon landmark, the capital seems to have it all to attract the tourists. But that was not enough to keep them coming here. Speaking of now, less than 1 million people call Naypyidaw home, and the majority of them reside in the suburbs that were there before the city was made the capital. No wonder why they call it the ghost town now. Number 4. Forest City, Malaysia. Much like the ghost town we talked about a few seconds ago, the forest city in Malaysia seems to be no less. Initially, it would be more like a smart metropolis that would be developed around an artificial forest environment and rise from reclaimed ground on 4 artificial islands to connect to Singapore, which boasts a booming economy. That calls for all the aggressive investors out there. Not just that, Forest City will also have its own customs facility to allow residents to move freely to Singapore and beyond. However, this extremely ambitious undertaking is full of challenges in itself. Already, a plethora of political and economic barriers are impeding its development. Due to the high taxes, Malaysians could not afford to invest in the mega project. And since foreigners were not allowed to purchase property in the city, many of the potential investors got largely discouraged. Number 3. Yucca Mountain, Nevada. As most of you would already know, nuclear power is more deadly than anything else in the world if not managed properly. That said, the best option out there to store nuclear waste was said to be the Yucca Mountain in Nevada. It was proposed that the trash from all around the nation was to be dumped in a tunnel complex that was located about 300 meters below the mountain. What seemed like a perfect place for a repository was to be abandoned. No one knew. Opponents continued to argue that the place would contaminate their water resources, which flow into Amargosa Valley. But since the project got approved, the Department of Energy started working on it. However, the court battles seem to have been won over, which is exactly why people don't prefer using this megaproject. Number 2. Burj Al Babas, Turkey. Here's an interesting yet unsettling site found in northwest Turkey, just south of the charming city of Mudurnu. Believe it or not, there ain't a single person in sight among the countless numbers of deserted Chateau-style residences that are on the hilly countryside. Initially, it was supposed to be an opulent residential area towards the wealthy oil executives. The construction of the area began in 2014, with a completion date of about 4 years later. The plan included the creation a total of 732 of these identical-looking villas to be rented out or sold to rich people out there. The project seemed to be doing quite well initially, but the inflation wreaked havoc. Investors in Burj Al Babas were adversely impacted by the abrupt decline in oil prices that occurred in the same year that the global oil market crashed. Almost all the investors were quick to pull out of the mega project, letting it fail terribly. Number 1. Goldin Finance 117, China. With an incredible height of about 600 meters, the Goldin Finance 117 is considered to be the largest abandoned skyscraper in the world, as recorded by the Guinness World Records too. Frankly, if it were to ever finish, the tower would have risen to become China's third and the sixth tallest skyscraper, before it was ultimately abandoned. Soon after the construction of the building began, the Chinese stock market crashed and the price of it fell down to 67%. Yep, that's crazy. The company lost $13 billion USD in the crisis, which is why Goldin suspended the construction for an indefinite period of time. So that's about it from the most worthless projects in the world. We are sure you got to discover some you have never heard of, and some that will make you think twice before investing into any of them. Do you think any of these have the chance to grow in the future? Do let us know in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this in the future. See you in the next video. Goodbye until then.